Equity, you can still get the Visa MasterCard. However, there's a negligence in the rest of the payment modules. M-Pesa or Safaricom, Airtel, everyone wants to work as individuals. The reason why Flutterwave now is coming in is to ensure that we have all these people coming together and aggregated in such a way that you as Mwananchi, you'll be able to get the same service across all platforms, without having the headache of going into the politics. Oh, Safaricom, give me your system. Airtel, give me your system. Bank, give me your system, and all. So that's where Flutterwave came in. So we have an end-to-end payment gateway, and this payment gateway is not solely just focused on Kenya. It's focused for African markets as well as worldwide. We are proud to say that we are an African company going out worldwide, as opposed to companies like Facebook who start from global and then come back to Africa. You get, so that is one of the proud things that Flutterwave has been able to achieve. And today we do support a lot of these global customers, such as Facebook, Uber, we have Netflix, we have other local people like Zucchini, yourselves, and many others that we support. So with one integration, you should be able to get every single, we are currently in around 36 countries in Africa that we are able to support their payment systems, either through mobile money or bank account, or depending on the market, we should be able to support your payments. So even you as data center in Kenya and you are offering the same services in Uganda, for example, you should be able to capture the Ugandan market with your same product without having to incur the cost of infrastructure, setting up office and all. You can be able to work from Kenya and still get customers in the different markets. So we have the other advantage with using Flutterwave is that there's a zero infrastructure investment. Like I mentioned, when you're in Kenya, you can be able to capture markets in Uganda, right? But then it doesn't cost you anything because one single integration gives you access to the rest of the 36 countries where we are in. So if you want Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, you should be able to capture all the markets just using one single integration. You don't have to travel to Tanzania and start looking for this MNOs or bank accounts, which is a good thing. The other thing is the whole system, the whole infrastructure is fully managed and owned by Flutterwave. So there's no point whereby you'll see third-party people coming in to claim a part of Flutterwave, right? So which is a good thing because of the backups and DRS, and you look at issues, politics and all, there would never be that because it's a one-man show and gives you security of what you're trying to achieve. We have mentioned that you have a consolidation of the mobiles, card schemes and everything. So in such a case, also it's an advantage to you because at the end of the day, you get everything using one integration. Now, just to mention, these are some of the countries where we are in. This is an old, should be in around 36 countries. We are officially registered as a US company. However, that means that any country that is on the OFAC list where there are sanctions in the Americas, then we would not be able to support them. Countries like Sudan, countries like Somalia, we would not, Libya and all, we would not be able to support them. So in case anyone is looking at those countries, it would be difficult to do that. But once the sanctions are lifted, then we should be good to go. So with the integration, you get mobile bank card acceptance depending on where you want to go. So Flutterwave has.
I'm sorry to interject. Before you move, we have the second slide on the issue of white labeling. That's the
Oh,
second. Maybe you can expound more on that.
all right. So white labeling, the reason why I didn't touch on white label right now is because we are currently reshaping it to see how best we can be able to offer it again to customers. A white label solution is where now, like African Data, you take this Flutterwave system and sell it as if it was your own. So you can become, this one we sell mostly to banks and PSPs. So we would not be able to sell it to individual limited companies where you just want to give it and shape it to look like Africa Data Center, but we normally sell it to PSPs and other acquirers so that they can be able to support their checkout pages. Guys like Shopify, guys like which other PSP, Swipe Pay, and all that. Those are the guys that would be able to benefit from the white label solution. This is the only solution that normally comes in with a charge, which is around $60,000 or for the white label solution.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to understand how it operates, that one. So thank you.
Awesome. All right. So Flutterwave has, apart from the collections and payouts, which is, if I can put it as the core business that we do, assisting customers to pull and push money, right? However, we also have sat and looked at what requirements and issues that customers might be facing, and we came up with a range of products that will be able to support our customers, even if it's not just on the collection or payout side. So apart from the Flutterwave store being the main topic for today, we have the payment links. Payment links are, you can be able to use it, especially if you're a small merchant selling things on Instagram and all. You create a Flutterwave store, a Flutterwave dashboard, and from the dashboard you create a payment link which you can be able to share on your WhatsApp or Instagram page, and your customers, whenever they want to buy, it makes it easier for you to collect and consolidate your payments. We also have invoices for small, even large companies, with an embedded link. So if you're invoicing for say 100,000 and you want your customer to be able to pay you there and then, instead of taking the invoice, sending it to the bank and all that, most corporate companies normally have a company card, so they would be able to make the complete payment there and then. And once you receive the payment in your Flutterwave account, you should be able to mark that invoice as
Your
paid,
class, Charlie.
which is a good thing. We also do have virtual cards that you can be able to give out to your customers, and those virtual cards you'll be able to use them in different sites, like paying for Facebook ads, paying for Google ads, and the likes. So yeah, among the other products that Flutterwave has is now the Flutterwave store. Now, if I was to dig down, maybe before I go to Flutterwave store, do we have any other questions from your end?
Yeah, I have a question. You have said that if I'm selling my goods on a social media platform such as Instagram, I'm able to come up with a link, a payment link. So
Yes.
suppose these goods have various kinds of pricing. How can I handle that? Will they use the same link, or I have to generate links as per different links for different prices?
So you can either generate different links for different prices or generate one link without inputting the price. Now, that would mean that you have to ensure whoever is making payment to you has actually paid you the correct amount before you deliver the goods that you're selling. So you can work on it in two different ways. But then that specific issue is among the reasons why we also came up with the Flutterwave store. So on the storefront, it's a place where we looked at it, especially in 2020, and figured that a lot of SMEs and small businesses who got caught up in the COVID lockdowns were not able to do business. So in this case, if you were a small SME, you want to continue doing business and receiving payments, but the country is in a lockdown, what do? Right? If you want to take your business online, the major issue that comes in is, how do I get a website? Who's going to be running the website? How do I know my stock is going down? How do I know about the delivery? How can I start logging in? How can customers give me their delivery addresses to be able to now start delivering? So all that hassle was quite a huge thing. As much as we want to integrate to your website, there was that issue of how long will it take you to build a website, and for you to build a website you need another amount of money to pay the developer to build the website. So Flutterwave came up with Flutterwave Store, which is a free product for all SMEs. It comes in as your specified, you can sell it as your own website, and you upload all your goods and services that you're using to be able to send it to your customers. It comes in with the delivery. You can the delivery checkout page, you can put in your pictures, you can put in pricing, you can put in different colors and all those different specified things, just like an e-commerce platform. Now, so the Flutterwave store was just like I mentioned, as a result for the COVID, and it has really seen us supporting a lot of our customers from across Africa to be able to do businesses and push their businesses online. How it works is, of course, you'll need a Flutterwave account, and if you need one, I'll be able to share with you the link where you can sign up and start transacting. Once you get into the Flutterwave account, you'll be able to see the Flutterwave store on your on your left module side. So you can be able to just click it and start filling up, uploading your pictures. From there, you put in the pricing and and the description of what you're trying to sell. Then once that is done, your Flutterwave store should be able to go online and activated. It's just as simple as that. So on the setup, I'll show you, I'll do a small demo so that at least you can be able to understand. The Flutterwave store has no limit in terms of which kind of goods that you can put up and which ones you can't. From tomatoes, mama mboga, and all that, you can be able to set up, to you as a person who's giving service like nails, consulting. You can still be able to utilize Flutterwave store as your website to sell your goods and services. Of course, I've passed through the different benefits of having a Flutterwave store. You can have your own brand, your logo being seen out there as Mama Mboga, and the reach is also to so many people, because once you start sharing your link, everybody will be able to see it. We also have a storefront, a marketplace where we display all the stores that have signed up. And of course, if someone is looking at the store, the marketplace, they should be able to locate you. The other advantage is that when once we start seeing that you're pushing your products out there, we also take advantage of that and help you to do your own advertising. So it comes in, say, weekly, monthly, depending on how your sales are going. We should be able to push your products as well through our social media sites, Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have LinkedIn. We can be able to help you push your products there through our marketing team. Of course, you'll be able to receive your payments into your Flutterwave account with both local and international. So if someone is in the US and they want to buy for their mother food here, and they see that there's a site selling, you should be able to receive USD payments, which is a good thing. Of course, like I mentioned, there's no setup fee, but the transaction fee, the only thing we charge is on the transaction fee. So if you're selling tomatoes for 1,000 shillings, then we will charge you 2.9% for that 1,000 shillings. And then settle you 930. The 2.9% comes to around 29 shillings, if I'm not wrong. So we settle you 930, and
Can I take this?
you move about your business. But then in the case where you don't want your business to be the one taking up that charge, on your Flutterwave dashboard, you should be able to switch and say, my end customer should be able to take care of the charge. In this case, what happens is that you display 1,000 shillings, but then at the end of the day, we take up what do you call it? We take up the 30 shillings from the customer's end. So if it was supposed to be 1,000 shillings, we'll charge the customer 1,030, so that we settle you 1,000 and keep the 30 shillings. So you have those two options of either push the charge to the customer or maintain the charge as a business. So these are just our charges showing Kenya, which is where we're supposed to concentrate on, at 2.9%, and any payment that is coming in internationally, Visa, MasterCard, Amex, you'll be charged 3.8%. Yeah. So no more DM me for price or telling people on WhatsApp that you're selling. Just put up your payment link and let them, your Flutterwave store, let them scroll, look for the products, and they should be able to start making payments to you immediately. I don't know if we have any questions until there.
Okay, yeah, I have a question. Like for us, African Center for Data Science, we already have an account with you. However, we have been working on an e-learning platform to take our online trainings to the e-learning platform. Is it possible, instead of building that platform, we already have it, however, we are improving? Is it possible that these pre-recorded courses can be brought to Flutterwave store, or it is limited to some kind of services and goods?
There's no limit to different services. You can easily just utilize it as your platform. If you're an educational company, you can put up your different courses and set the pricing. It doesn't stop you.
Okay, thank you. I think this can solve, because initially what we did again, I think our guy, the IT guy, generated a link and integrated, because you are receiving the payments in our dashboard, the same dashboard. So, but one thing, maybe the last thing on that. So as soon as the customer will pay, this course will be unlocked. He will be able maybe to stream, given that they are pre-recorded kind of videos.
Yeah, so you might need to do an additional slight integration into your ERP, right? Because on your ERP is where it tells you if payment has been done, then activate the activate the lesson. But in this case, you've just set up the lessons or the material. But once payment has been received, that next leg of updating your ERP would need to be done. The webhooks and the callbacks have to be integrated onto your ERP system, so that at least when a payment is done, then the course is open for this person to start transacting.
Okay, yeah, I think that is well noted.
Yeah. All right. So I'll just take you through practically, unless there's any other question. Okay. So this is my
Hello, sorry.
yes.
Okay, I was asking if during now that integration, if there are some costs incurred that is from us to you.
No, there's no cost. Like I mentioned, we don't charge for integration at any point. The only cost that we take is on the transaction fee.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So this is how your Flutterwave storefront would look like. This is my storefront. So if you're selling whiskey, say for example, and you've put up the pricing, then you should be able to see your logo stating that this is Achievers Liquor Store. I'm able to choose, say for example, I'm choosing Clubman. I add one. It's been added to cart. You can be able to go out of the cart and either empty if you don't want, but if you continue, you'll be able to fill in your address details. We're doing Nairobi city, Nairobi region. So now I've set up my account in terms that if I'm delivering to you, then my delivery charges are 300, and I've put them in regions. So you can do the same. If you only deliver around CBD, then you can say your region is CBD, and then you put the pricing that you want for CBD. If you are delivering all the way across to Thika or Kakamega or Dubai, depending, then you can put it in regions and mention that in this region, I am charging you 500, 1,000, 2,000 for delivery. So that's dependent on you. Of course, the customer will have to put in their delivery address, and if probably they're buying for their girlfriend or boyfriend, they can add a note. Or if they don't want chili, say for example it's a restaurant, if they don't want pepper or they want to have additional plates or tumblers, then you can be able to put it there. We also came up with the discount code. If, say for example, you want to run a campaign on your Flutterwave store and you've issued out discount codes on your Instagram. So if it is valid on your end, then the customer can just come in and put in their discount code and you get the discount. Now, the items were 376, and I mentioned that the delivery within Nairobi is 300. So my total is calculated as 676. I confirm and I try to make the payment. Payment, because it's in KS, it will give me the payment methods that are in Kenya, which is M-Pesa. I can choose M-Pesa or Airtel, and then either card or the Flutterwave Butter platform, which now is a Flutterwave wallet. Right. So if I come here and say pay with mobile money, once I click confirm, in this case, it's 695. I get an OTP on my phone which just came in, and it says that I should pay Achievers how much? 695. Right? If I don't get the SDK push, then you can be able to complete this transaction offline using this detail. But I'm not going to complete it, so it will tell me it's unsuccessful if I retry. So if you notice what I was trying to mention to you is that it told me the final price came in as 696 because I've set my account to be customer to take up the charge. So you have 676 plus another like 20 or 30 shillings, which is the Flutterwave charge that is now added on it. Then when you complete the order, it's a total of everything. But then if you don't want it, you can be able to switch back and say that the company is taking care of the charge. So you can include the charge either in the pricing of the liquor or the service that you're giving out or you're selling, so that maybe you can now look at it as if you're checking up the charge, but then it's inclusive into your pricing. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, that is clear.
Awesome. All right. So if we go back to the account, this is how your account will look like. Once you create a Flutterwave store, a Flutterwave account, you'll be able to have all the modules. You have the invoicing, that one I was talking about. You have the payment links. You have the Flutterwave store. So if you click on the Flutterwave store, if you didn't have a store, it will tell you create a store. Right? It will give you a request to create a store. And then it's just as simple as add products. And if you have, you put in your product name and say, give it a description and just set the pricing, how much is it, does it weigh, how many do you have in stock, if you have 1,000 of them. So every time a purchase is done, this stock keeps on declining. When it gets to like 2.5 or a number, then it will be able to send you a notification and say add stock on item so and so. You can also be able to categorize it based on what you want. So say, for example, right now I'm selling liquor. I can be able to categorize them and say I'm selling whiskey. This is under whiskey or under rum or under any of those, depending on the categories. If you're selling clothes, you can be able to say this is men's category, this is women's category, child, or something like that. So if it's an education, then it will be something like civics. You have CRE, I'm just putting the primary school subjects. So depending on the subject, you can just say that this education material is under this category. Now that is dependent on the type of business and how you want to categorize your products. You also have in different sizes. Say, for example, you are selling men's clothes. You have size large, medium, small, and all that. And then in different colors, you can be able to put that as well. Yeah, so if you have any other variations, you can be able to view products and just create different options for your customers, and that will be able to assist your customers to know what they're trying to purchase. Okay, so going back to my products, say now you've put up all your products and now you're completely done, right? This is where you can be able to set up discount codes. Just add a new code. Maybe you say 50% off, or Iftar or Easter holiday, depending on Christmas holiday, 50% off, depending on what you want the discount to be. So you can set up limits. If it's 5 times, then that is done. 1 time per user, then it's done. It depends on how you want to set it, right? You can set start date and end date, when you want to start it and when you want to finish it. That's on the discount codes. And then, of course, product categories, the different categories that you set on the settings side, then you should be able to view them here once you finish. You have all the categories once you set them up. You can also manage your store. On this side is where, if you're going to handle your own shipping, whereby I was saying that you can create different regions, which is the setting that I've taken up, then I can be able to keep on adding Langata, Nairobi, Udhiru, and all that. You can set up the shipping fees and how much you want to be charged. You can also add VAT, because now as you are a limited country company, you're expected to pay VAT. So with that, you can be able to set up your VAT, and so that by the time your purchase is complete, it's inclusive of the VAT, and you can be able to use that invoice or the payment to also pay your VAT. Now, the other option is where Flutterwave is helping you on the shipping, right? In some cases, not in Kenya yet, but then in some cases we have partnered with logistic companies, whereby they give us the service for delivery. So in this case, for example, Sandy will be able to come and pick up your goods and do the deliveries for you in your behalf. But those now, for that, if Flutterwave is going to handle the shipping, then it means if you're going to handle this shipping, it means that the delivery charges and fees is based on what our agreement with these logistics people are. And then you can just simply turn off deliveries, meaning that you don't do deliveries. So the customers will have to come and pick up the goods from where your shop is. Okay, so now you can also view your orders on this tab and say, okay, this person has ordered on 27th, he has ordered all these things, and the delivery address is this. So you can be able to pick up the delivery information, and if you have issues with it, you can either call. If the order has been fulfilled, you can mark it. If there's an issue, probably he ordered for 5 items, and on those 5 items, you could only get one. Then you can either refund the customer as a full amount. You can either do partial refund or full refund. So in this case, I paid 372. I can decide to return the undelivered item, which is 62 shillings, and refund. So the refund team will be able to pick this up within 5 to 15 business days. The money should be back. This is dependent on the type of payment the customer used. Was it card, bank account, or mobile? So for mobile, it should take around 24 to 72 hours, depending on the backlog. But then it gets to the customer faster than the card payments or bank payments, because now that one is dependent on the different card schemes and the banks involved in that payment. That's why we normally push it to 10 to 15 days to be able to fulfill. Yes. So I guess that's it about Flutterwave Store, unless there's any question.
Okay, thank you so much, Stacy. On my side, I have 3 questions. One, on the issue of tax. For instance, when it comes to VAT, when you are going to file a VAT, you find out that in some cases they are asking about the ETR.
ETR is normally given by government POSs, if I can call them POSs, because I don't know the name. But that is not something Flutterwave can issue to you.
Okay, yeah, because like for instance, for organizations that the way we have been generating, for instance, our invoices from the Flutterwave a platform, and we have been putting VAT. And now when it comes to the issue of when it comes to the issue of ETR, we were a bit confused on how that one can be handled. I don't know if it is something that some of your customers have also experienced.
Not really, because on the Flutterwave side, see, for example, I come to your office now and say I want a course. I'll pay you cash, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel that cash on your ETR?
Yeah, that is something that we found a bit tricky, But anyway, in terms of the ETR machines you have, what is the cost?
No, we don't have ETL machines. That's what I was saying. That is not something that Flutterwave can issue out to you.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just the only part that Flutterwave plays here is supporting you to collect your payments. It's just the same way that when you go, instead of me coming to your shop and purchasing goods, I'm just giving it to you and say, sit down at your house, buy whatever you want to buy, and I'll bring it to you.
Okay.
Now, in that case, even if I pay you with M-Pesa, you still have to fulfill your duty to the government and ensure that you pay your tax. So the
Yeah.
same way you're doing it at this point is maybe the same way. All you need to do is just ensure that you capture all the payments you're receiving.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. And then the next one, when it comes to the issue of the like this store, given that are you this kind of innovations come with a lot of maybe regulated issues and uh, one thing that might I foresee and I would like you to assist us to answer in the issue of the service level agreement. You know, when I'm dealing with my customer, for instance, and I have
Mm-hmm.
created a Flutterwave store,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the customer does not know Flutterwave. They know me maybe as an individual savior who is delivering or selling this issue, these kind of goods. So maybe in case of delays not meeting the expectation, who is going to carry this liability? Or is there a place in this Flutterwave platform that I can put my own kind of service level agreement so that that kind of liability does not fall on Flutterwave, who are just the enablers, for instance, the technological enablers in this scenario?
Um, no, because this is your Flutterwave store, yes. But then it's difficult for me. It's an e-commerce site. It's difficult for me to tell you that you can be putting in your terms and conditions and all. The only probably what you might need to, I don't see it happening, honestly. But then what we have provided for you is a description of your stock. Can you see my screen? Is a description of what you sell,
Yeah.
and then a page where you can put in a description of what you sell, and then your contact information. Should your customer have any requests or issues that they need to, the information you fill up on your Flutterwave store is the information that will display here. That way, your customers will be able to have to get to you without having to pass through Flutterwave. Because on this page, if we were to look at it, everything that is here is written Achievers Liquor Store. So nobody knows about Flutterwave until you come to the point where you're making your payment.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think that is well answered. Then also, in terms of account creation, my last question, I know that for we have that aspect of those people, for instance, in how can I put it, like companies who are regulated by the government, they are registered, but I have like an individual who is not registered. Am I able to open an account, or is it a must that I must have a registered business?
Okay, so we it's easier for me to validate you through the government, if I may put it like that. But then the government has given you options, three options, right? You can be an NGO, a limited liability, a sole proprietor. And a sole proprietor is very easy because you just get a business name. You don't and right now I think it's even 300 over 100 shillings to get a business name. You just log into your e-citizen platform and create a business name. On that side, once you create a business name, at least I know the government knows you. And it is also important for Flutterwave to be able to say, okay, government, because I'm also audited at the end of the every year. Government, I have 5,000 merchants who are on my Flutterwave store, and out of these merchants, I have settled them 1,000 each. Now, out of the 1,000 each, the government needs to know how many have paid them their taxes. So if I tell you that I'm going with individuals to do businesses, then I'll be in that position you're putting me, is whereby now I have to tell the government that this and this is happening. However, that being mentioned, we also have another category that goes for individuals. Individuals are just those customers who now you're talking about, they have Instagram pages, Facebook pages where they do their business, but then they've not fully registered with the bank, with the with the with the what do you call it, with the government, right? In that case, they have to share with us their PIN, and they have to share their ID, so that even as we are sending this to the government as as individual accounts, we still have your PIN that will indicate if you are able to do your tax returns. So yes, you can sign up with Flutterwave. It doesn't stop you, but then at the end of the day, you just need to ensure that you have fulfilled your business obligation to the government.